Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to discuss Deathly Hallows of Harry Potter. If you are interested in knowing how these hallows were created, or about famous people joining his quest, or about where these hallows ended up being in the last, then this video is for you. So watch the video till the end. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's first talk about how these hallows were created. So there's a book called The Tales of Beedle the Bard, which was written for young wizards. It is a book for a fantasy book, obviously a fairy tale, I can say. There's a story about the Peverell brothers, which gives the lessons of mortality, but many adult believes that this story is true and have gone to its quest, but no person has been successful in getting all the three Deathly Hallows. So let me tell you the story first. The story starts with three brothers, the Peverell brothers, going down a forest in twilight. Then they meet a river which is very deep. So most of the travelers drown in the river and hence die. But these three brothers were wizards and hence magically skilled. So they use their wand to make a bridge, a magically built bridge, by using which they cross the road. Seeing this, Death felt cheated and humiliated because at this moment they were supposed to die, but they didn't. They escaped Death. So Death thought of taking a revenge. So Death went to the three brothers and said that they were very intelligent and clever, and hence Death would reward each one of them with a gift or with anything which they want. Beginning with the eldest brother, the first brother asked for a wand, the most powerful wand which no one could defeat. So Death took a branch from a tree nearby, which was the elder tree, and made a wand and gave it to the eldest brother. This was the most powerful wand and our first Deathly Hallow. Moving down to the second brother, Death asked what does the second brother wanted, and the second brother wanted to humiliate Death even further and asked for a stone or a thing by using which he could revive dead ones back or relive dead ones back. So this made Death even more humiliated, and even though Death didn't want to give it, but unwillingly had to give the stone to the then Death moved to the third brother. The third brother was the cleverest, humble and politest brother, and therefore he asked for a thing by which he could escape the root of Death even after they move out of the forest, and Death could not follow him after they move out of the forest. So Death had to, again unwillingly, but had to give her own cloak to the youngest brother. This was the cloak of invisibility. Using this, he could, escape from Death even after moving out of the forest. Now that we know how these hallows were created, let's trace each of them in particular, starting with the Elder Wand. Eldest brother got the possession of the Elder Wand. He went to a nearby village to kill a wizard with whom he had once fought with. After killing the wizard, he declared that he was invincible and that he was the most powerful wizard of all time and that he had the most powerful wand. After hearing this, one greedy wizard got a knife and slit the eldest brother's throat. This is how he died, and then after that, many wizards got the possession of the Elder Wand. From time to time, the possessor of the Elder Wand has changed, and it led to many murders being committed because of the ownership of the Elder Wand. Now we get to Dumbledore's childhood. A close friend of Dumbledore, Gellert Grindelwald, steals the Elder Wand from the wand maker Gregorowitch. Then, in the famous duel between Gellert Grindelwald and Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore, Dumbledore defeats Gellert Grindelwald and gets the possession of the Elder Wand. Now we come to the time when Severus Snape tells Dumbledore that he is going to die very soon. Sadly, but the truth is this. Okay, so as we know that a wand becomes truly of the person who kills its previous owner. So Dumbledore makes a plan, as he is the big head, big brain genius. So he makes a plan with Severus Snape and tells him to murder or kill him by the Avada Kedavra curse when the time comes. In this way, Dumbledore plans his own death and no one kills him, so the wand becomes masterless and hence useless. But now comes a flaw in Dumbledore's plan. When the time came in the astronomy tower, Draco disarmed Dumbledore and hence became the true master of the Elder Wand. Then Draco was disarmed by Harry in Malfoy Manor afterwards, and therefore Harry Potter became the true master of the Elder Wand. Then, from the grave of Albus Dumbledore, Voldemort took out the Elder Wand. Using the Elder Wand, Lord Voldemort cast the killing curse on Harry Potter. Harry, being the true master of the Elder Wand, the curse did not hit Harry but instead rebounded and Voldemort got killed by his own curse. Now we are going to see where the Elder Wand ended up being in the last. So there are two parts to it. One from movies point of view, second from books point of view. I am a believer in the books, so I'm going to tell you first what happened in the books. According to the books, the end of Elder Wand is that Harry uses the Elder Wand to repair his own wand and then breaks and throws it. But according to the movie, Harry breaks the Elder Wand and throws it in the river. I believe that the ending of the book is more practical and more logical. So it's your choice. What do you think? Which ending of the Elder Wand do you like? The ending of the book or the ending of the movie? Comment me down below so I get to know what do you think about it. Before I start tracing the Resurrection Stone, you go and like my video, give it a thumbs up and make the thumbs up button turn blue. Now let's trace the Resurrection Stone. After the second brother got the Resurrection Stone, he used the Resurrection Stone to bring back a lost loved of his who died an untimely death. After the woman came, she did not feel at home in the mortal world and hence went back to the deads. Shocked by this disastrous thing, the second brother committed suicide in order to join her in the afterlife. Next we find the Resurrection Stone with Salazar Slytherin, one of the 4 founders of Hogwarts. He gets the stone in form of a ring. He did not know what the true powers of the stone, Resurrection Stone was and kept it as a possession of a ring. In his family, he passed down to his son, and then here to here in his family, the Resurrection Stone was passed down without anyone knowing what the capability of the Resurrection Stone truly was. Next, we found the Resurrection Stone, which is in the form of a ring in the house of Marvolo Gaunt, who is the heir of Slytherin and the grandfather of Lord Voldemort himself. Next we know is that Lord Voldemort, who is at that time Tom Riddle, goes to his uncle's house because his grandfather is in Azkaban. So it's his uncle's house now. Goes to his uncle's house, confronts his uncles, takes his uncle's wand, kills his own father with that wand and gives the wand back to his uncle. And as he is a master of legilimens, changes his uncle's memory to believe that his uncle only killed his father, who was Tom Riddle Sr. This lands his uncle in Azkaban and he takes the ring, which he's also unknown of the fact that it is the Resurrection Stone, and he takes the ring and converts it into a Horcrux, as he is fond of, luxurious thing, and it was a thing of the 4 founders of Hogwarts, so he converted it into a Horcrux. Next we know is that Dumbledore found the ring, destroyed it, and before he died, he kept the ring in the Quidditch snitch which Harry first caught in his first game of Quidditch, and kept in his will so that when Dumbledore dies, the Resurrection Stone gets to Harry and he can use it when the time comes when in the forest he had to die. Then we get to see that while Harry was going to confront his own death in the forest by Voldemort, he uses the Resurrection Stone to talk to the ones who had died about how they died and stuff like that. So Harry uses the Resurrection Stone to see his loved ones back before dying. Then he drops the stone wherever he was standing and confronts his death. And the rest we know, and you don't need to know this for this video. I'm sure I will tell this in future videos. But for now, the next thing we know is that in a conversation between Harry and Dumbledore's portrait, Harry tells Dumbledore's portrait that he dropped the resurrection stone in the forest, the dark forest, but he does not know where it is, and he will not go looking for the resurrection stone and let it be where it is and let it just then go. In an interview with J.K. Rowling, the writer, the author of Harry Potter series, we get to know that when the reporter asked J.K. Rowling that where the resurrection stone ended up being in the last, J.K. Rowling replied that the Harry never went looking for the resurrection stone afterwards, and by the crawling and walking and running by centaurs and other magical creatures, the resurrection stone went deep inside the forest, inside the dark forest. So this is where the resurrection stone ended up being in the last. Now let's trace the invisibility cloak and let's see where it ended up being in the last. After the youngest brother got the invisibility cloak, he was never followed by death. He lived a calm, easy and good life, a long life, and when he thought that he was of age, he removed the invisibility cloak, treated death as his old friend and went with death to die and live another life maybe, and gave his invisibility cloak to his son. And from that point, the invisibility cloak has been inherited by the heirs and passed down from the family of the Peverell brothers, the youngest Peverell brother. And then we get to see the invisibility cloak with James Potter. Maybe he is the heir of Peverell's youngest brother. And then just right before, a week before I guess, James Potter died, he kept the invisibility cloak with Dumbledore. Dumbledore took the invisibility cloak to examine because he believed that it was very strong and something he wanted to examine, and then he got to know that it was one of the Deathly Hallows. And then he, for 11 or 10 years I guess, he took the invisibility cloak in his possession before Harry grew of age. When Harry reached 11, came to Hogwarts, he gifted Harry the invisibility cloak, which Harry used to do all his good doings. If we take the cursed child as the canon, then according to the cursed child, the invisibility cloak was given by Harry to James Potter, who is his son. It might be confusing because his son's name is also James Potter. He kept it in the memory of his father. So he gave it to his son James Potter when James Potter was in Hogwarts. So the invisibility cloak ended up being with James Potter, who is Harry Potter's son. So that's it for today's video. We have seen how these Deathly Hallows were created. We have seen famous people joining the quest for the Deathly Hallows. We have also seen where these Deathly Hallows ended up being in the last. If you made it this far in the video, then I request you to go and subscribe to my channel. If you like the video, also press the bell icon so that you get notifications whenever I post the upcoming video. I am sure that I will be posting lots and tons of videos on Harry Potter, which I am sure you're going to love. So subscribe to my channel, stay tuned for future updates and future videos coming into my channel about Harry Potter. As you know, this is my first video on YouTube. You can see me half in sweat. I'm tired. So this is my first video on YouTube. So also please do show your support by subscribing to my channel. If I made some mistakes, I'm sure I made some mistakes. So forgive me, as it's my first video. I will learn from these and make a better video next time whenever. And if you find some mistakes and things you want me to improve on, you can write down in the comment section. I will read it and of course implement it. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching the video. Bye bye till the next video.